So you want to own a car wash. At first, it sounds almost ridiculous. Compared to a 5-star hotel, a shopping mall, or a construction company, a car wash hardly seems like a serious business. There are no luxury rooms to maintain, no hundreds of retail tenants to manage, and no billion-pound construction contracts to win. All you see is a few cars entering a tunnel, some colorful soap, giant spinning brushes, powerful dryers, and a customer driving away with a clean vehicle a few minutes later. Simple, at least that's what most people believe, but hidden behind. Those spinning brushes is one of the most fascinating business models in the United States. Because the real product isn't water. It isn't soap. It isn't even a clean car. The real product is convenience. Every single morning, millions of Americans leave their driveways and spend hours on roads covered in dust, dirt, pollen, rainwater, road salt, insects, oil residue, and construction debris. Within only a few days, even a brand new vehicle begins looking dirty. Most people could wash their cars themselves. They own a hose. They can buy soap from almost any supermarket. Yet they don't. Instead, they willingly pay someone else every month. Why? Because modern consumers don't buy cleaning. They buy time. And in business, selling people their time back is one of the most profitable products you can ever create. Imagine paying around $15 for a 5-minute express wash. That doesn't sound like much. Now imagine just 300 vehicles passing through the tunnel on a busy Saturday. That's roughly $4,500 in revenue from a single day. Repeat that performance over hundreds of busy operating days. Combine it with premium wash packages and monthly memberships, and suddenly, an ordinary roadside business starts generating millions of dollars in annual sales. That's when people stop seeing a car wash and start seeing a business. That's why what appears to be an ordinary roadside business has quietly evolved into a massive industry. Across the United States, professional car washes serve millions of pro vehicles every week, with express tunnel washes and subscription memberships becoming the fastest growing parts of the market. But here's where the story becomes even more interesting. Imagine you stop outside 2 different car washes. The first has a long queue stretching onto the main road. Cars keep entering the tunnel every few seconds. Employees barely have a moment to breathe. The second sits almost empty. Its expensive equipment is spotless. Its building looks modern, yet hardly anyone arrives. Both businesses offer almost identical services. Both use similar chemicals. Both have the same machines. So why is one making money while the other struggles to survive? The answer has very little to do with washing cars. It has everything to do with economics, because a successful car wash isn't built around soap, it's built around traffic. Think about 2 identical express tunnels. One is built beside a quiet road carrying only a few thousand vehicles every day. The other sits on a busy commuter route where tens of thousands of vehicles pass every 24 hours. The buildings are identical. The equipment is identical. Even the soap is identical. But one location has far more opportunities to convert passing traffic into paying customers. That's why experienced investors often say they aren't buying a tunnel. They're buying traffic. Before an owner ever orders equipment, hires employees, or pours the first foundation, they begin studying something much more valuable than water. Cars, not the customers inside them, the vehicles themselves. How many pass this road every day? How many stop at nearby traffic lights? How many commuters drive home through this intersection every evening? Can drivers safely turn into the entrance? Will they have to cross several lanes of traffic? Is the property visible from a distance? Can customers reach it without making a difficult U-turn? These questions determine whether the business becomes profitable long before construction even begins. One poor location can destroy a multi-million-dollar investment. One excellent location can generate customers for decades. In fact, experienced developers are often willing to spend significantly more securing prime roadside property because a better location can produce millions in additional revenue over the lifetime of the business. That's why location isn't simply an expense. It's one of the most valuable investments a car wash owner will ever make. But building a modern car wash isn't like opening a small neighborhood business. It's closer to developing a miniature industrial facility. Most first-time investors imagine buying a pressure washer, installing a few brushes, hiring a couple of employees, and opening the doors a few months later. Reality is very different. The moment construction begins, the money starts disappearing. First comes the land, then site preparation, then drainage systems, water lines, electrical infrastructure, environmental permits, concrete foundations, the tunnel itself, vacuum stations, chemical storage rooms, payment kiosks, security systems, landscaping, signage, and finally, the machines that customers actually notice. By the time everything is complete, a modern express tunnel car wash can require an investment running into several million pounds, depending on the location, land values, and facility size. Land and construction often represent the largest share of the total project cost, followed by tunnel equipment, water reclamation systems, and payment technology, and that's before washing a single car. The biggest surprise isn't how expensive the machines are. It's how intelligent they've become. Every customer who drives toward the entrance is quietly entering a highly automated production line. Modern payment kiosks can identify returning members through license plate recognition before the driver even reaches the conveyor. The system already knows their subscription, their preferred wash package, their payment status. Sometimes the gate opens without the customer touching anything at all. From the driver's perspective, it feels effortless. From the owner's perspective, it's operational efficiency. Because every unnecessary second costs money. Imagine a tunnel capable of washing over 100 vehicles every hour. Now imagine every customer taking just 30 extra seconds to enter. By the end of the day, dozens of potential washes have disappeared. That's why successful operators obsess over something customers rarely notice. Flow, not water flow, customer flow. How quickly can vehicles move from the entrance to the exit without creating bottlenecks? Can 2 payment lanes reduce queues? Are there enough stacking spaces before the tunnel? Will cars block the main road during busy weekends? These questions matter because an empty tunnel earns nothing. But a tunnel operating at full capacity transforms fixed assets into cash flow. Every additional vehicle spreads the same building costs, insurance, property taxes, and equipment financing across more revenue. That's where economies of scale begin to appear. Ironically, water, the very thing customers believe they're paying for, is one of the least interesting parts of the business. Most people imagine thousands of liters being wasted every day. Years ago, that might have been true. Today, modern operators think very differently. Water is no longer something to throw away. It's something to recycle. Sophisticated reclamation systems collect, filter, and reuse a large portion of wash water, reducing operating costs while helping facilities comply with environmental regulations. Many new express tunnels are designed around water recovery systems because they lower utility expenses and satisfy increasingly strict local requirements. Even the colorful soap isn't simply soap. Each chemical serves a different purpose. One loosens dirt. Another removes road salt. Another protects paint. Another improves drying. Another creates the thick foam customers enjoy watching. Some premium packages even include ceramic coatings or advanced paint protectants that cost very little to apply, but allow operators to charge substantially higher prices. That's another hidden lesson of this business. Customers rarely compare the cost of chemicals. They compare the perceived value of the final result. A shiny car feels expensive, even when the additional materials cost only a fraction of the price difference. It's the same psychology used by luxury hotels, upgrading guests to premium rooms, or coffee shops charging extra for specialty drinks. The perception of value often matters more than the production cost, but no matter how efficient the operation becomes, no matter how advanced the machinery is, no matter how many memberships are sold, every owner eventually discovers a problem that no machine can solve: the weather. Because one rainy week can completely change customer behavior. And when the skies stop cooperating. The economics of owning a car wash become far more complicated than most investors ever expected. Rain is the one employee a car wash owner can never control. Some mornings, dark clouds appear before sunrise. By lunchtime, the parking lot is almost empty. The tunnel that washed hundreds of vehicles yesterday now sits silent, while expensive machinery continues consuming electricity, loan payments remain due, insurance premiums don't disappear, and property taxes continue accumulating. Customers may stay home, but expenses never do. This is where many first-time investors learn their biggest lesson. Revenue is unpredictable. Costs are not. That's why experienced operators never judge the business by a single day's sales. They analyze weekly traffic, monthly trends, seasonal patterns, and customer retention. One sunny Saturday might generate record-breaking revenue, while 3 consecutive weeks of heavy rain can significantly reduce wash volumes. Successful owners don't panic. They prepare, and preparation begins long before the weather changes. Remember those monthly memberships we mentioned earlier? This is where they become the foundation of the entire business. Imagine operating 2 different car washes. The first depends entirely on customers paying individually every time they visit. The second has thousands of members paying automatically every month. When rain arrives, both locations receive fewer vehicles, but only one continues receiving predictable income. That's the power of recurring revenue. Instead of constantly searching for new customers, the business focuses on keeping existing members satisfied. Every subscription reduces uncertainty and creates a more stable cash flow, allowing owners to forecast revenue with far greater confidence. In many ways, a successful express car wash behaves less like a traditional service business and more like a software company. Customers subscribe, payments renew automatically. Retention becomes more valuable than one-time sales, and every additional member increases the lifetime value of the business. But memberships alone don't guarantee profitability. Another challenge hides inside every wash package: pricing. At first glance, pricing seems simple. Basic wash, premium wash, ultimate wash. Customers choose one, pay, and drive away. In reality, every package is carefully designed using behavioral psychology. Most operators don't expect customers to purchase the cheapest option. They expect them to compare. A basic wash may clean the vehicle. A premium package promises wax protection. The highest package includes ceramic coating, tire shine, underbody rinse, spot-free drying, and paint protectants. The difference in selling price can be substantial. The difference in operating cost is often surprisingly small. That's because the expensive part of the business isn't applying an additional layer of protectant. It's building the facility that delivers it. Once the tunnel is operating, adding another. Chemical application or protective coating usually costs far less than the extra revenue generated from upgrading the customer. That's why premium packages produce some of the healthiest margins inside the business. The same strategy appears across countless industries. Airlines sell business class. Hotels sell luxury suites. Streaming services sell premium subscriptions. Car washes sell upgraded wash experiences. Customers aren't simply paying for additional products. They're paying for peace of mind, a cleaner finish, longer paint protection, or simply the feeling that they're taking better care of something valuable. Then comes another hidden source of income, vacuum stations. Many customers assume they're just a free convenience. In reality, they're a marketing tool. Free vacuums encourage customers to stay longer, improve satisfaction, and make the overall experience feel more valuable. The longer people remain on site, the more likely they are to purchase premium washes, cleaning products, microfiber towels, dashboard wipes, or vending items. The wash itself attracts customers. The entire property generates revenue. But behind every satisfied customer stands another system working quietly in the background. Maintenance. Thousands of vehicles moving through the tunnel every week place enormous stress on motors, conveyor belts, pumps, sensors, dryers, and rotating brushes. These machines don't stop wearing out simply because business is slow. If one critical component fails during peak weekend hours, dozens of waiting vehicles can quickly become hundreds. Revenue disappears every minute the tunnel remains closed. That's why preventative maintenance isn't viewed as an expense. It's viewed as insurance against lost income. Large operators inspect equipment daily, replace worn components before they fail, monitor chemical usage, calibrate sensors, and train technicians to minimize downtime. Because in this industry, a machine that isn't washing cars isn't making money. And while owners are busy keeping machines running, a much bigger change has been happening across America, one that is transforming the entire industry. Independent family-owned car washes are slowly disappearing. But growth doesn't guarantee success. As word spread that express car washes could generate recurring monthly revenue, investors rushed into the industry. Independent operators opened second and third locations. Regional chains expanded into neighboring states. Private equity firms began purchasing successful family-owned businesses, combining them into larger networks with one goal in mind: scale. The bigger the network became, the stronger its bargaining power. Large operators could negotiate better. Prices on chemicals, equipment insurance, maintenance contracts, advertising, and even financing. A company with 200 locations could often operate far more efficiently than 200 individual owners, but success created a new problem: competition. Drive through almost any growing American suburb today, and you'll probably notice something unusual. 2, 3, sometimes even 4 express car washes sitting within only a few miles of each other. Each one promises the fastest wash, the best equipment, the brightest tunnel, the longest lasting ceramic coating, the cheapest monthly membership. The battle is no longer about cleaning cars. It's about winning customer loyalty before someone else does. That's because the economics of a modern car wash have changed completely. Years ago, every customer represented a single transaction. Today, every customer represents a subscription. A person paying every month for 3 or 4 years is worth far more than someone who buys only one premium wash. That's why operators spend enormous amounts of money improving customer experience. Mobile apps allow members to enter the tunnel without stopping. License plate recognition identifies vehicles automatically. Digital payment systems eliminate queues. Marketing software tracks customer visits. Some operators even analyze traffic patterns and weather forecasts to predict demand before customers arrive. The business has quietly become far more technological than most people realize, but technology cannot solve every problem. There is one challenge that every owner eventually faces: oversupply. When too many car washes compete for the same customers, prices begin falling. Marketing expenses increase. Membership discounts become more aggressive. Profit margins slowly shrink. The tunnel may still be busy. Cars may continue flowing through the conveyor every minute. But underneath that activity, the financial performance begins changing. Because volume alone doesn't create profit. Healthy cash flow does. That's a lesson many expanding operators learned the hard way. Some businesses borrowed heavily to build new sites, as interest rates remained low. They believed customer growth would continue forever. Then, borrowing costs increased. Construction became more expensive. Labor costs rose. Utility bills climbed. Competition intensified. Suddenly, businesses that once looked unstoppable found themselves carrying enormous debt while generating less profit from every location. Several operators across the industry have had to slow expansion, restructure debt, or rethink their growth strategies as financial conditions changed. The lesson was simple. Expansion without discipline can destroy even an excellent business model. That brings us to another secret most people never think about. Eventually, many owners don't want to operate the business forever. They want to sell it. But buyers aren't purchasing spinning brushes, they aren't purchasing soap, and they certainly aren't purchasing water. They're purchasing predictable future cash flow. When investors evaluate a car wash, they study membership retention, operating expenses, maintenance history, equipment condition, traffic counts, and most importantly, EBITDA, the earnings generated, before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. A business with strong recurring memberships and stable profits is often worth significantly more than one relying only on occasional customers. In other words, the real asset isn't the tunnel, it's the quality of the business built around it. That's why experienced owners think differently from beginners. Beginners focus on today's revenue. Professionals focus on the next 10 years. They understand that every satisfied member, every efficient process, every cost saved, and every smart investment increases the long-term value of the company. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson hidden behind every successful car wash in the United States. People believe they're buying a place that washes vehicles. They're not. They're buying a system. A system built from commercial real estate, traffic analysis, automation, water recycling, customer psychology, subscription economics, preventative maintenance, operational efficiency, financial discipline, and hundreds of small decisions that customers never even notice. Take away any one of those pieces, and the machine becomes weaker. Put them together correctly, and something as ordinary as a roadside car wash transforms into a business capable of generating reliable cash flow year after year. So the next time you drive into an automatic tunnel, listen carefully. The sound you hear isn't just water hitting metal. It's pumps, motors, software, sensors, conveyors, dryers, and millions of pounds worth of investment working together in perfect synchronization. To you, it's 5 minutes. To the owner, it's the result of years of planning, risk, financing, engineering, and execution. Because the greatest secret behind every successful car wash in the United States was never about making cars shine. It was about turning everyday traffic into recurring revenue. One membership, one vehicle, and one perfectly designed business system at a time. The customer leaves with a clean car. The owner leaves with predictable cash flow, and that's the business hidden behind every car wash in the United States.